Here is the week 6 update. Now, I'm not doing this one from Richmond, I'm doing it from my house in Spotsylvania, and just wanted to change it up, get a little bit more comfortable because we have quite a bit to go over. We're going to go over all the bills that I've carried this year and give updates on all of them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not all the times you have a win. Sometimes there's losses, and sometimes there's continuances. And so we're going to go over all 16 bills, which is quite an ambitious load for a freshman delegate to cover and carry. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this. House Bill 39, that reduces early voting from 45 days to 14 days and extends the hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're really excited about this. There's a lot of data that I was looking at when I decided to craft this piece of legislation, so we're hoping that this one makes it through the Senate. House Bill 40, this is the Disabled Veteran Special License Plate Transfer to Surviving Spouse Bill. This one has made it all the way through the House. This is made it through Senate committee and will be heard on the Senate floor next Monday, Tuesday, and we're hoping this one gets signed into law soon. House Bill 41, this was my first loss in the House. It was actually even the first bill that I presented before subcommittee, and it got laid on the table. This was the one that allowed different schools to opt out of the placement testing for kids in pre-K. There's a lot of mixed data out there as to whether or not regimented pre-K instruction is beneficial for the child in the long term or if it's not beneficial. And so just trying to push the needle on that and bring awareness to something that I've seen some different studies on and kind of encourage a dialogue there. House Bill 981, this is the medical license reciprocity. Now, this was not very well drafted. Again, very early on in the process here, I promised and campaigned on focusing on issues that would be multi-year issues, and this is definitely one of those, the medical licensure reciprocity bill. And so what my bill was doing is allowing folks to come in. It wasn't allowing back and forth and a cooperation between states, and so that's what we're going to be focusing on, is crafting legislation that's going to create true medical license reciprocity for our physicians and our doctors and our nurses and our medical staff to be able to cross state lines and then also receive them as well. And so we're really excited about working with different localities and different professionals and people who are a whole lot more smarter than I am to be able to craft some better legislation and bring that back next year and subsequent years. House Bill 982, this is the most comprehensive school choice bill that has been presented to the House in the history of Virginia. And I'm not saying that to pat my own back there. That's not what I'm doing there. There's a lot of folks that have been working on this issue for years, and they helped me craft this legislation. And what was done with this piece of legislation is it was kind of continued over to other years. Everybody that looked at the legislation thought that it was a great bill and thought that it was a great step for the Commonwealth. However, keep in mind we're dealing with a Democrat-controlled Senate, and those committees over there are stacked against us. They're not in our favor. And so what was done is House Bill 1024, Dave LaRock's bill, was put forward as the vehicle for school choice. Now, it's not as expansive as the one that I have here, and there are some concerns with that bill. Not everything is going to be the total complete package, but we have to make steps in the right direction. So not a win, but it's definitely something we're not giving up on, and we are going to keep fighting for. So stay tuned for more developments in that in the coming years. House Bill 983, this is my abortion bill that prohibited abortion based off of race, gender, ethnicity, or disability. And so it was our anti-eugenics bill that we were having. And that one, there were some language issues with it. We tried to get them fixed, and we didn't get them all fixed in time before the deadline to have something heard in subcommittee. And so we will be bringing that back next year. We already have it drafted, and hopefully we can make sure that we've got a really solid bill to be able to be presented in subcommittee, committee, and in the House floor next year. And I know that we already have the support for it. House Bill 1007, this is sexually explicit instruction material. This one got rolled into Delegate Tara Durant's bill, 1009. And so that was the bill that went forward to make sure that we are addressing sexually explicit material in our schools. House Bill 1038, this dealt with prohibition on masks. As many of you already know, the Senate bill addressing masks in the schools has already been signed into law by our governor. It's a huge win. We also are focusing on, through the Department of Labor, getting some regulation changes and wording changes to make sure that we are pushing back on the mask mandate policies that have been put forward by previous administrations. So we're making some really good progress there. So even though my bill wasn't the vehicle, we are still making progress. House Bill 1039, emergency services and limitation on executive orders during disasters. That one got rolled into Delegate Kathy Byron's bill that addresses the same issue. And The wording was very similar, but a little different, allowed for a continuation of an executive order, and then it still required the General Assembly to come together and approve it once it went beyond a certain amount of time. So we're really good, we're making really good progress in that arena as well. So really excited about that. House Bill 1040, this is our minimum wage bill that exempts small employers, 10 employees or less, from minimum wage requirements. That one's made it through the House. We even picked up a few Democrat votes along the way, so hopefully we'll make it through the Senate as well with that one. Next one, House Bill 1046. This is a study bill that requires Department of Medical Assistance Services to study ways to save money by allowing parents or family members to buy directly the over-the-counter prescription items that their loved ones are getting. Like, for instance, our daughter, she's prescribed a certain type of formula. It costs $17 at Walmart, but the supply company was billing Medicaid $97. So if we could buy that directly with having some sort of preloaded card, we could actually save a whole lot of tax dollars and make sure that those monies that are being allocated for Medicaid are actually going towards making kids' lives better. House Bill 1048, death of a parent or guardian as a result of a person driving under the influence and being able to go after them for child support. That bill did not come out of subcommittee. It was heard. There was a lot of questions, concerns on the way it was being handled, the way the bill was drafted in regards to which court was hearing it, and how all the intricacies of that with other personal injury compensation would be coming into play. And so it was, no action was taken. We'll bring it back next year and see if we can make that one better. House Bill 1051, this is possession of firearms when you have a protective order. That one did not come out of committee. Instead, the party decided to focus on red flag laws and repealing those, so it's going to be a good win if we can get that through the Senate. Again, keep in mind, a lot of these bills, even though they are making it out of the House, they may not go anywhere in the Senate. The Senate is Democrat controlled by a small majority, but if we can't get a few Democrats on board, then we can't get anything through that Senate. And those subcommittees, or the committees, are actually stacked against us really bad. So in order to get something through a committee, we have to work extra hard. House Bill 1067, this was a bill for the wastewater treatment facility at the request of the city of Fredericksburg to be put onto the wastewater treatment plan that the state has instituted in the past few years. House Bill 1239, this is our personal property tax bill. This allows personal vehicles to be decoupled from other tangible property and allows that tax rate to be lowered as needed. Right now, we're seeing an inflation on the cost or the value of used vehicles that we've never seen before. Vehicles are actually appreciating in value, and so we need to make sure that we are not keeping that tax rate locked in. And so as the value goes up, then the taxes go up. Now we want to make sure that as the value goes up, the taxes stay the same or even go down. So we're giving that freedom and flexibilities to the localities. Last one, House Bill 1240. This is the allowing professional counselors to be licensed without examination. There's a lot of concerns on the implementation of that, and so we're looking forward to doing a little bit more research in regards to that bill, checking out what some other states are doing, and making sure we're pushing forward to that. I've already mentioned some of the political wins that we've had across the board, some of the policy wins, I should say, across the board for the Commonwealth as a party as a whole. We had talked about the mask bill that went out that put the parents in control of whether or not their kids are going to be wearing a mask in school. House Bill 787, that's our anti-CRT bill that prohibits things being taught in a school that says just based off of your skin color either makes you better or worse than somebody else. No, we're going to teach the good, the bad, and the ugly of history. We're going to teach the total history because we want kids to be critical thinkers. We want them to be able to look at the past and look at the flaws of the past and not make those same mistakes so that our future can be better, safer, easier. We're also, I mentioned 1009, that's Delegate Durant's bill that allows parents to opt out of their kids receiving sexually explicit material. House Bill 90, that repeals grocery tax, so that's going to save taxpayers some money. I mentioned my House Bill 39, that reduces early voting to 2 weeks. I'm really excited about that. House Bill 833, one thing you really don't hear a lot from Republicans is some really good ways to approach and address gun violence, and that's what this bill does. It brings Project Ceasefire to Virginia, which is a way to address gun violence in a way that it does not infringe upon the rights of the individual. So we're really excited about that bill. The numbers and the data and the statistics on the success of this program, it's been proven in many other states, and so we're really looking forward to this being here in Virginia. On the front of the Right to Life movement. We got some bills out there that we're really excited about. The informed consent bill that Delegate Greenhall's carrying. Delegate Nick Freitas, he's got his Born Alive bill that prohibits a child from just being left to die after it's been born alive as a result of a botched abortion. And then I also have the Hyde Amendment at the state level submitted to our language with our budget that will prohibit taxpayer dollars from being used for abortions that are being done because a child has a disability or a defect, a medical defect. So we're really excited about the progress. It's not the progress that I was hoping for. I was hoping to be further down the field with this, but we're making some first yard progress, or first down progress, I should say, and we're pushing the marker a little bit further. We're going to do the same thing next year and the year after that, and we're going to keep pushing until we get all the way through to the end zone. And we got to make sure that we're making this progress. And even once we get to the end zone, we got to start back all over again and make those first downs to keep pushing forward. And we're doing this on a few different fields right now, a few different fronts, on a few different policy issues. And I ask that you just hang in there and keep encouraging us and keep us accountable to make sure that we are doing exactly what you sent us to Richmond to do, because we are there to represent you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to my office, delpscott@house.virginia.gov. That's delpscott@house.virginia.gov, and we'll be sure to get back to you, set up a meeting, a phone call, whatever it is. And as always, I look forward to hearing from you. Take care, and God bless.